What's up guys, my name's Chris and today we're going to be talking about the albino Cory catfish. We're going to talk about taking care of them in a fish aquarium, tank size, tank mates, food and nutrition, aquarium water temperature, literally everything you could think of to deal with albino Cory catfish. My name's Chris and this is Palmer Aquatics. I do videos on fish aquarium stuff. Fish aquariums are my life. If that also interests you, please hit the subscribe button. If you're also interested in donating, you can head over to my main channel, Palmer Aquatics, and there's a membership button. It's $1.99 a month. I want to give a huge shout out to all my members. Thank you very, very much, guys. Let's dive in to taking care of the albino Cory catfish. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to you about it while you watch some awesome B-roll on the albino Cory catfish. All right, guys, thanks, and make sure to like this video, subscribe. Alright guys, the albino Cory catfish. I'm super excited about this one. I have like this little hidden passion for the albino Corys. And this is the whitish pinkish colored Corydorus that grows like 2 to 3 inches. They have red eyes. They're kind of just a crazy looking Cory catfish. And you know, there's all different kinds of variations of Corys. They have all, like, there's tons of different sizes. This is one of the middle sized range of the Corydorus. If we're being honest, a lot of the Corydorus, the different species, look different and maybe are a little bit different in size, but the care information on how to take care of them is pretty similar. Corydorus like to be in schools, so if you're looking to buy one of them, you probably shouldn't do that. You should buy a minimum of like 5 of them. And that also leads to what tank size do you need, because if you were just keeping one Corydorus, you might be able to keep like a 10-gallon aquarium, but now that we're talking you need a school of them, you're probably looking at least at a 20-gallon size minimum. And please know that when deciding an aquarium, it's a big deal of how much surface area is on the bottom for catfish. You know, like you could have a 50-gallon tall tank, but the Corydorus is only going to utilize the bottom, and if the tank bottom is really small, that's not going to be the best setup for a catfish. Hopefully that makes sense. Here's an example. You know, there's a 30-gallon aquarium high and there's a 30-gallon low, also known as a breeder. And the 30-gallon breeder is going to be a lot better of a tank because it has more surface area on the substrate or the tank liner, bottom, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people say that the best tank substrate for albino Cory catfish, or just Cory cats in general, is sand because, you know, gravel can cut up their barbels. But, you know, Corey from Aquarium Co-op kind of debunked this because he went to actually Peru and found them in their natural habitat, and they are doing quite fine in gravel, so it's somewhat of a myth. But like I was saying, these fish have barbels, and they're kind of like little whiskers that they use to kind of like go through the substrate. They're constantly like digging through the surface of the gravel / sand and looking for things to eat. They're sort of skimming, kind of like a man-eater or an anteater, whatever you call those things. They are constantly skimming through the substrate. Like I was saying before, it's kind of been a wise tale that you can only keep Cory catfish with sand substrate, but you know, a lot of people have been effectively keeping them with gravel. One thing you have to watch though is sharp substrates. You know, like sometimes if you go to like a Tractor Supply place, you can get like crushed. There's a lot of different options. Like there's some blasting sand that is somewhat sharp, and you really got to be careful with keeping Corys with that because they'll cut up their barbels. So we talked about tank size, substrate, keeping them in schools. What else is there? Feeding. They're omnivores. They're going to be constantly digging through the substrate looking for food. What I usually do is just feed them a wide range of flake food, pellet food, and variety is huge. I'll throw some links in the description box to some of my favorite foods and products. You know, filters, heaters, the top brands that I use as far as foods. As far as keeping them with other fish and tank mates, literally Corys are like such a mild-mannered fish that you can keep them with anything that doesn't try to eat them. You know, I've kept them in such a wide range of aquariums, you know, planted tanks, cichlid tanks, and as long as the other fish aren't trying to kill them or screw with them, they're probably going to get along. What I find super cool about Cory catfish is that they just keep to themselves and they're always doing their own thing. They show so much personality as far as like schooling with their own kind. That's why you need to keep them with other Corydorus. The bigger the school, the better. They're just constantly doing their own thing, showing so much personality. They're just absolutely fascinating to watch. There's also somewhat of a weird wise tale in the hobby that sometimes Cory catfish like expel this weird toxin out of their gills. To be honest with you, I'm not sure I even believe it, but some people claim that something weird happens in their established aquarium where the Cory catfish gives off this toxin and it destroys the entire tank. Everything dies. But I don't know how I feel about this because it's like I've never encountered it and I've been keeping these fish for so long. Alright guys, I think that basically sums up taking care of the Albino Cory catfish. I absolutely love this fish. Tropical fish, by the way, get yourself a heater. You're going to need temps between 75 to 82. Guys, let me know in the comment section how you feel about the Albino Cory catfish. Have you kept them? We talked about the tank size, tank care, tank mates, water temperature, the behavior, the schooling, tank mates, literally everything you could think of as far as taking care of the Albino Cory catfish. Sorry, it's a lot to say. So please guys, give this video a like for the love of fish keeping and subscribe to the channel. Woo woo!